Hi guys, hope you're all well and hope you're getting ready for the exam season. I just wanted to make a little video on managing distraction because I think it's something that we all deal with and something I've been thinking about a lot in the past few weeks. So just wanted to provide my tips seeing as exams are coming up and there's more of a need to concentrate and study. Also, like, my eye is a bit swollen and I don't know why, so please ignore that. Okay, so I know I'm not a psychologist and I don't have that much psychological knowledge in this field, but from my experience, distraction is a defense mechanism against something that you're avoiding. And it's not necessarily because the thing is so annoying itself, it's the unpleasant emotions that come with the task. So any distraction and procrastination is avoidance of unpleasant emotions, and most commonly avoidance of the fear of failure in some sort of way. So once you understand this, you can work towards developing long-term solutions for preventing distractions. I'm not just talking about like putting your phone on silent or, studying in a quiet space. Those are, of course, really effective short-term solutions, but I found that they don't really get to the root of the problem often. And I think it's important to recognize those negative emotions and label them and ask what they are and understand them, so you can complete the task and have a better time completing it. So this is the process that I usually use if I find myself getting distracted in whatever way, whether that's like on Facebook or just, even with practice, like thinking, oh yeah, I'll practice first and then I'll do the assignment because I need to practice today anyway, so I might as well do it now, when really I know that I'm sort of avoiding doing that thing. Let's take the example of writing an essay. So if I find myself distracted on social media or whatever, I can start by saying, okay, what am I avoiding right now? Writing the essay. Why am I avoiding doing this? Well, because I feel like if I start the essay, I'll find that there's all this extra reading and research I need to do that I haven't done yet, and I'm scared that I won't have enough time to do it before the due date, and I know that I'm gonna get really self-critical and stressed out when I start doing it, and I just don't want to feel stressed, so I'm kind of avoiding that stress. And then you sort of have three options then once you identify that. So I identified, okay, I'm basically, there's fear involved there, there's guilt involved there if I don't achieve a good enough mark, because I feel like I need to do extra research, for example. There's also holding myself to high standards, so I identified all of those things, and then I have three options. I can either say, okay, well, I want to do this task anyway because I want to pass or I want to get a certain mark, and I'm going to create room for those feelings to exist in my conscious awareness while I continue to do the task. So I can allow myself to still feel stressed while doing the task, and I can allow myself to feel guilty or to feel whatever I need to feel, and continue doing the task. And that way I allow those feelings to exist within me, to just be there. I don't need to fight them. I just allow them to be there and experience them while I also continue to do the task. And that one's quite useful, especially when things are due that you kind of have to do, or you recognize that when you do that task there is going to be that level of unpleasant emotion, whatever that is, that comes with it. That's a really useful one. The next option is to actually deal with those feelings a bit more. So in my situation, or in that situation, you can say, okay, well, what exactly am I stressed about? Is it the due date, or is it the fact that I'm underestimating my capabilities in doing this task, or is it because I'm holding myself to really high standards? Is it because my teacher is holding me to really high standards? What is the actual point of stress and fear here? And then you can go a little bit deeper into those emotions and see if you can, assess, okay, is this really realistic thinking, or am I sort of catastrophizing the situation a bit? How important is this in the scheme of things? Do I really need to be stressing about this much? You can basically do a little bit more work, and that might also help alleviate those feelings. And once you start doing the task, you realize, actually, I'm fine, or actually, this is a bit difficult, but I know that I'll be able to do it. So that's, if you have a bit more time, you can look into that, and that way you'll be building confidence for the next time a similar situation comes up. You'll be able to say, okay, well, last time this is how I felt, but on deeper investigation, I realized that it's sort of just an old negative thinking habit that I have. And then, of course, the final option is you can decide not to do the task at all, which I know is crazy, and not something that you can usually do with assessments and stuff. But you could decide, okay, well, I feel really stressed if I'm going to pressure myself to do this and finish it by tonight, which is when it's due. But I know that if I have one extra day, I'll be able to do this task more like realistically and practically, and it will be better for my own mental health. So of course you can decide, I'm just going to hand it in one day late. And again, you might feel a bit guilty, or all these emotions and critical thoughts might come up, but in the end, it's a decision that you can make consciously, and you'll probably be more productive for it anyway. So I guess the main point is, this way, instead of fighting your distraction, you're kind of accepting it, or you're just bringing it to consciousness and allowing yourself to still do the task and have those feelings there if you want to, or address them more deeply. And the other thing is that once you do this, usually you'll be able to move through the task much easier than if these feelings were sort of festering in your unconscious while you would be doing the task. You'd be way more stressed and sort of not in control of how you're doing the thing that you want to do. Yeah, so there it is. Of course, this method, like if you want to go a bit deeper into this, you can, ask yourself bigger questions, not just with a certain assessment task, but you can ask yourself, like, what am I avoiding in my life? What have I avoided addressing from my childhood? Or what conversation am I avoiding having with, a certain person? Or what am I avoiding to confront in my own inner world? That's like some very deep questions, and I wouldn't recommend you to do this during exam season, but maybe since holidays are coming up, it's an interesting opportunity for a bit of self-development there. But if you do go into that, go gently, because trust me, if you go too hard, you'll end up in like some very dark spaces, because you're basically asking all these unpleasant emotions to come up. So to end, I just want to say that, like, being distracted is totally normal. Everyone is distracted from time to time, and also distraction can be good and is necessary sometimes. Like if you've had a really tough day, or you've just been really focused and concentrated, like, you can let yourself be distracted. And if you're having, certain intense emotions that have come up and you don't want to be feeling them all the time, then it's actually really good, I think, to, watch a movie or call a friend or do something that actually distracts you from that and gives you a bit of space from your thoughts and your emotions for a while, and then maybe you can get back into it. But yeah, this is another reason why I call this video Managing Distraction, because I don't actually think distraction is a negative thing. It's only a negative thing when it affects affects you unconsciously and it controls you. But if you are consciously making a decision to distract yourself from something else, it's totally different than if it sort of subconsciously is distracting you from something your brain doesn't want you to address, but maybe you should address. Whether that's starting that assignment or practicing that one section you know you're going to have to play next week in rehearsal, in your lesson or whatever, and certain things like that. So yes, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday and good luck in all your exams. And yeah, let me know if this technique works for you guys. But otherwise, thank you for watching our videos and thank you for being involved in all our content. Yeah, that's it. Bye.